So, obviously, after the last game, we're thrilled with the way the second half went. What's been your message to the guys over the last
What
week?
game?
That's
Quit trying to get me upset again.
What's been kind of your message to the guys, and what's been kind of the focus and practice since then?
We go over film and just try to improve. I think, over time, look, I was upset, but over time, stuff like that happens, you play well, more than you don't, but you're not going to always play well, so you got to learn from it. What caused our offense to stall out in the second half? What caused us to give up 20 points in the paint? How do we rectify it? And then you move on and you practice. And then you get focused on Utah. So that's kind of, that's our process every week. Even if you play great, how can you play better? And then why did we play great? Like, why did we play so well in the first half? Passing was excellent. So you're shooting wide open shots. So that's it. We always just try to evaluate, improve. I try to look in the mirror, and what didn't I do a good job of in the second half of that game? But I do it all the time. And then you just got to get prepared for this week.
When you looked at the film, was there anything new that you saw in that second half, or was it basically you knew it right after the game?
Oh, I knew that they made adjustments, and look, they were able to get away with playing small, and we didn't punish them inside when they played small. Our passing to them in the post at times leaves a lot to be desired. And we work on it nonstop, but they always say, I've been hearing this, so it's definitely a cliche now. Passing is a lost art, but I would say it's not. Post passing is the hardest thing to teach because you got to pass the ball over, under, or around the defender guarding you, and deal with the defender guarding your post guy. So it really separates who can really pass the ball, who can post feed. So they got away. We let them get away with that, and that was a big factor in it. But and then, like you said, right away, we bricking free throws, 1-and-1s, missing wide open shots, 2-footers in the lane, 1-footers at the rim. So that starts to snowball.
Is Amari going to be able to come back this week?
I don't think he'll play this week.
Okay. Making progress?
Yes, making a lot of progress.
Okay.
Has he practiced?
No, he has not practiced yet. He's shooting, not practicing.
In the USC game, it seems, I didn't want to mention it in the post, but it did seem like Bona took a step forward.
Yeah, oh, he's done.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I told him. It's his time to start getting 10 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
If he can stay out of foul trouble. That's it's going to have to happen for us to be an elite team, right? He's got to be an elite rebounder, and for his career. So he was focused on it for sure. He's improved immensely every day. His comfort level, getting comfortable is hard for freshmen. They're getting hit with a million things at a time, and he's doing it while he's got to play major minutes. But when he's such an elite athlete and a smart kid that he's able to do it.
He was a really good rebounder in high school when I saw him as prep, and then he struggled a little at the beginning.
Yeah.
What are some of the technical things that maybe he's improving upon that's giving him that edge to rebound better?
Well, two things. One, on the comedic front, I was a hell of a player in high school, but I wouldn't have been at UCLA. So what he did in high school against guys, 6'3" guys, really don't matter. Moose Bailey's a heck of a coach at Brentwood, but most of his post players are about 6'2". When you're playing teams like that, so what you did in high school really is irrelevant. I think that's the biggest fallacy that people don't understand. But I was the biggest key to rebounding, Tracy. Got to be a two-hand rebounder. Got to be a two. All great rebounders go after the ball with two hands. They're athletic enough and agile enough that in traffic they can go up, not with one but two. You have to be a two-handed rebounder, and that's something we work on. I've always worked on, and again, Ed Dem's only been with us so long, so you can get away with it against some of Moose's guys at Brentwood.
How would you kind of evaluate, we talked about this earlier in the season, but the trust in your guys on the bench, and obviously Amari being out complicates your bench rotation, but guys like Will.
Will, Abramo, Dillon.
Yeah.
Getting them more, getting them minutes, especially Will, because obviously, he's coming back. He's still nowhere near 100%. Sometimes it takes a guy to his year after the ACL. But he's a very smart player that makes the right play 90%, 99% of the time. Maybe our best post feeder. We all know Dillon's got great talent with the ball. So, and Abramo's probably got the least of minutes of those guys. But it's, one man's trials is always another man's opportunity in sports.
And not only helping their development, but resting Tiger and Jaime, right? Just because they're playing heavy minutes, especially in Pac-12 play.
Absolutely. Yeah, I rested Tiger Monday's practice.
Okay.
He did the first 20 minutes and spent the rest of the time on the bike. He kept trying to get off. I kept telling him to be Lance Armstrong. He gets banged up. It's hard for him. If other people take one step, it takes him two. For one of Jaime's strides, it takes Tiger two. So yes, Tiger expends a lot of energy. So again, from here on out, once we reach this point in the season, we cut practice drastically.
Is this the time of the season right now? It seems like a lot of ranked teams, are losing kind of the dog days of the season, you'd say, and you need to kind of push through it.
Yeah, well, it's just harder. What it is it's harder to win because the teams that maybe struggled early, they jumble up their lineup. They watch film. Coaches are trying to keep their jobs, and they figure out, all right, here's how we now know how we have to play to be competitive. So you take a team like the Washington State early. Okay, now other teams have injuries, like they didn't have Yakomowski. So, teams make adjustments, coaches make adjustments, and I've always said this. For 20 years, I've said it. It's way harder to win after Christmas because of that. Guys are trying to keep their jobs, and they've had a chance to, okay, well, we can't play fast. We got to slow it down and grind it out. We don't have enough talent. We got to find a way to keep the game close, and it's just harder to win. It's for a lot of reasons. Many of the ones I've given you, like coaches pound nails, they batten down the hatches, the adjustments are made, and it's not about the rah-rah anymore. It's like you said, the grind is here. So I think it's important. So we cut practice down, right around January 5th to 10th every year, and try to make sure we got energy to play the game. And watch more film, walk through more, and try to make sure we're excited at game time. I'm a big believer in that.
So Utah seems like a team that's gone a little bit beyond, let's say, preseason expectation, and they're getting through this kind of grind pretty well, seemingly.
Yeah, well, until their last game.
Yeah, true. What have you seen?
Well, look, when Utah is elite on the defensive end. They're second to us in points allowed per game in the Pac-12. I think they're 18th in the Ken Palm defensively. So they're not easily scored upon. So it's hard, it's hard. If you're not easily defeated, you give yourself a chance. So Craig does it. He was a great coach at Utah State. Now he's got a year under his belt, and he's made them a tough out. They're tough to score on. They play great team defense. Their preparation is excellent. You can see what they're trying to accomplish when you scout them, who they're trying to take away and what team they're trying to play. And then they got rock solid players at a lot of positions. They rebound the ball. Even in Pac-12 play, they're +5. In Pac-12 play, they're giving. I know they've only played 6 games, but they're giving up 23.5% from 3. That's unbelievable. So hopefully that's law of averages got to go against them on Thursday. Somebody's got to make some shots against them. But when you defend the way they're defending, you're giving yourself a chance every night. And they got enough firepower on offense.
What was Oregon able to do the other night?
Oregon's is so different to play against than anybody in our league because of the matchup zone and their size. At times, it can, you saw it against us in the first half here. And then, they've had all kind of injuries. They got Cuisinart back. Sometimes the schedule's not in your favor. They were coming off a horrendous loss and obviously looked in the mirror, played great against Utah. Look, Fally Dante's a monster, man. That guy's big and strong, a good, solid player. Will Richardson, when he plays well, they're one of the best teams in our league. He struggled at Colorado. He played great at Utah. And we all know, we've seen him for so many years. We know what he's capable of. But their size and the matchup zone, threw Utah off for sure. It throws a lot of people off. You guys have seen it. Dana's been, in his 10th, 11th year at Oregon, something like that.
Somebody tweeted out that I think it was David Woods from Bruin Report that you guys are 30-0 in your last 30 with fans at Pauley. Do you feel like
I hope the fans show up Thursday.
Do you feel like you kind of built that home court den, so to speak, that you wanted here at Pauley?
Look, I wish it was sold out every game, but I appreciate the fans that do come. The students have always been great since I've been here. They're great. They always say hi to me on campus. Not that I'm walking around all the time, but when I do, students have been awesome here. Students are key to your atmosphere. But that aside, look, you can't. If you're going to build a program that competes for your league title, you must win at home. Period. Because you get out there, it's hard to win on the road now. You're playing, especially in conference. You've got to be able to win at home. You look at teams historically; they're at tops of conferences. They all have similar numbers at home.